I'm 26. I've got cerebral palsy. It's a condition you're born with, neurological condition. So that affects, obviously, neurome in your brain, and it means it'll affect, obviously I'm in the chair, and it affects my lower body, my legs, but it also affects everything. So my hand-eye coordination, what else? Like my eyesight as well, that's why I wear the glasses. Fine motor skills, and it also does affect my continence. I now live alone because my parents literally moved last week, so that's one way to move out with your parents, move them out, and you keep the house. So they've moved, and I'm now living by myself in an empty house, but I do have, and that's in Albury, on the Albury-Wodonga, on the border there, but I am hoping to move to Melbourne to pursue some other career options. My family have been a big support and a real solid support network throughout my whole life, and they've really encouraged, my parents especially, are encouraging participation and always being involved. And I've got 3 younger siblings, and they've always been a big part of, we've always done things together as a family. They've always been supportive and helped where they could help, and make sure I was involved. Because even though I am quite confident and outgoing at school, for example, I wasn't necessarily targeted or bullied, but I definitely felt excluded at times, just from people's probably lack of education and awareness. And I always say my parents were so great. Like they have allowed me to hate camping, because I went on plenty of camping trips as a kid for our family holiday. But I hate camping. I hate camping because I was able and empowered to go camping, whereas if they had said, oh, it's too hard, we'll put you in a respite program, or we'll leave you with a relative for the week while we go, I would have sat at home and missed out on that experience as a family. And I think that's, for people with disability, I think that's the worst bit. It's not the doing something and then finding out that it's too hard. It's not doing it at all, and people telling you, oh, don't worry, you didn't miss out, or don't worry, it wasn't that cool, or it was too hard, you wouldn't have been able to get there. It's like, no, I want to make that decision for myself. I think that the best you can do is, if you have a question or you're worried about something, just ask. Like, let's just have a discussion, open conversation. And because a lot of people don't have experience with disability. My brothers are lucky in a way, because they got lived experience of having someone grow up around them with disabilities, so they don't even flinch around other disabilities. I'd rather you ask a question and then make your own assumption, and then you've put me in a box. The worst thing I can hear, or I've seen as well, is when I'll see there'll be children or a young kid just go, oh, what's happened to him, Mum? And then I just hear the parent go, oh, don't ask, that's rude. And it's not rude. Like, the kid just wants to know, he's seeing something that's different. Like, he's like, that's not like me, I want to know what that is. But what's the worst bit is then when it's an adult and they come up and they go, oh, they won't even know who I am, won't ask my name, but they'll go, oh, what happened to you? Or what's wrong with you? And it's like, there's nothing wrong. Like, the amount of times I'll just be in the shops, just on a Tuesday morning, just buying some milk or whatever, and I'll just get hit with what's wrong with you. It's like, nothing's wrong. It's like you're wearing socks and thongs. Like, what's wrong with you? And nightclubs are a great space, because people just go, you either get one extreme or the other. People go, they don't even flinch, and they're like, yeah, you're here, I'm here, we're all young and drunk, so let's just do it. And then you get like I had this woman, she just literally jumped into my lap, and we were having a good time in a nightclub dance floor, like people do. And I said, oh, well, do you want to get out of here, or go get a kebab, go back to my place, your place, whatever? And she's like, oh, I've actually got a boyfriend. I went, what does that mean? Like, we've just spent the last 3 hours getting to know each other, like, if you know what I mean. And she goes, oh, don't worry, you don't count. And I was just like, oh, what does that mean? Well, I knew what she meant, but I just wanted to know what she thought she meant. And she's like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean. I was like, oh, okay. And she goes, oh, but I want to stay in your lap. It's really nice and warm in your lap. And I said, honey, it's nice and warm because I just pissed myself. There's different models of disability, and the ideal model that we're all trying to live by, and if you talk to other advocates, is the social model. It's not that our disability is the problem, or it's not our fault that we have a disability. It's that the society and the social around us, like not having accessible venues, or not, people discriminating us against for employment. It's and the social model is that we should fix that before we fix our. I've bought from Independence Australia online through their website, and then that gets delivered straight to my house, which is great. But then I also do have some limited experience. I think I recently just got an order, and one of them there was like some padded boxes, so it wasn't the full catheter. But yeah, I use it. It's most ideal for me, either travel or going out nightclubbing and drinking.